In this video, I'm going to go through my team selection for game week 26, transfer plans for the upcoming weeks, how does it affect game week 27, chip strategy, captaincy, all that good stuff. Let's jump into it. Hi FPL managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. So in this video we're going to have a look quickly at game week 25, how we got on. We took some hits, how did that pan out for us? 26 we'll look at, I've already made some transfer moves, I'm looking at others, is it worth taking the hits? I haven't decided yet, I've done some statistical analysis and we will look much further beyond 26 as well, because any decision now we make is going to have a real knock-on effect for game week 27, 28, 29 and 30. How does that reflect your chip strategy? How are we going to work it to get the best possible results? So before we have a look at it, please hit that like button, subscribe if you enjoy your FPL content, and let's have a look. On screen then I have all the fixtures for game week 26. As we've known for quite some while, this is the biggest double game week of the season. We've talked about these to death. Some of the great fixtures, Liverpool stands out clearly straight away. Arsenal have a great pair of fixtures as well with Brentford and Wolves. So before we launch into my transfer plans and team selection details for that, let's have a quick recap of how we got on game week 25. For me, really pleased. I took a hit. I had 2 free transfers. I still took a hit at 4 points, but I came out with 81. Like a lot of people, Fernandes and that Brighton game really paid dividends. De Gea clean sheet, Maguire for me, Fernandes scoring late on, captain, brilliant, great news. Diaz was another sort of success for me as well. Kept the clean sheet, got the bonus points. The fact that Laporte didn't play, I think, really benefited me as well, because a lot of people have gone for him over other teams. Bowen, everyone's got him, but he did great. And Alexander-Arnold as well did well. Kufal came off the bench, but as I said, Gray got injured. He didn't play. De Bruyne was a shock. He had a lot of money on my bench, and Cancelo not playing as well. So the Diaz clean sheet really was good news for me. So the moves I made of bringing Vigors, Fernandes and Maguire in over Antonio just was absolutely paid dividends. A 4-point hit was great. And moving forward, I think the side looks good, but I've got a lot of transfer plans and a few decisions to make looking forward then. This is my side as it would appear right now. I've got 1 transfer in the bank to make, which I'll show you in a minute. I've already done, which I was forced to make really. 0.8 I've got. Few double game weaker players in there. Vigors was brought in particularly for that reason. I've got Dennis Foster will get his place in the side over De Gea simply because he's got 2 games. Not sure about Man U keeping a clean sheet at Leeds either. Trent, great fixtures. Gallagher has a double game, but he's on the bench. Could move him onto the field. Not sure for who at the moment. Depends on who else I bring in. He, remember, doesn't actually have a double week because he can't play against Chelsea, his parent club. So it's only Watford, but still quite a nice fixture for him. So, like I said already, I made 1 move already. It was planned and thought out way before the Norwich game where he was obviously rested anyway. He comes out for 12.1. Made the move on Monday night, 12.9. Salah had to make it then. Wouldn't normally, but I wouldn't have been able to afford the move without making other transfers. So he's gone up now in value. So he came straight in, bang on the money, triple captain, not even talking about that anymore. Norwich Leeds home fixtures just look brilliant. So that's the way the side looks right now. So in fact, no more 3 transfers to make. Anything I'll do additional would be a hit. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double game week players. I'm pretty happy with that. But I do have a few other players that I've got to consider, I think. Is it worth taking a hit for? And they involve Arsenal. They have great fixtures. Brentford at home, Wolves at home just look brilliant. The problem is that they've got Watford away on 28. The fixtures after that look pretty good. And there's the potential of Chelsea being slid in there in 28, 29 as well. So that just looks like an opportunity to get on board those players. The problem I have is game week 27. I have 2 free hits and a wild card in the bank, so I'm happy with that. I don't want a free hit in 27. I think I'm going to have to have a hit in game week 30, but I could get through that as well. Can I leave myself in a decent position game week 27 where I haven't got a free hit and save that for later on in the season? That's what I'm trying to get to position at. So one idea I have is taking Kufal out and Fernandes, and I'm not keen on it, even though I'm not a big fan of Fernandes. I mean, he's a great footballer, but in terms of his cost as an FPL asset, 11.7 is a lot. And until recent times, he hasn't really produced. He's not on penalties either, so there's a lot of money for a player like that. But he got great fixtures. Away at Leeds, who seem to be shipping a lot of goals, Watford at home, they look to get good games. The fact he's playing in 27 as well, but to bring other players in, he's a lot of money that he would enable me to do. When you're looking beyond as well at game week 28, 29 and 30, they do not look nice fixtures. But he could come out, Saka could come in, as could Tierney. Good fixtures. I'm looking at 1, possibly 2 clean sheets against Brentford and Wolves, and then the games after look fantastic as well. This is how the side then would go up. I'd have -8 for game week 26. This looks brilliant now. Trent, Foster and goal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double game week players. Really pleased with that. Triple captain Salah. The players with single game weeks look decent. Bowen and Watkins. Watford and Newcastle looks absolutely brilliant as well. You'd expect maybe one of Cancelo and Diaz not to play potentially. So I think maybe Gallagher or Maguire would come in there. Really happy with that. So the game week 26, it looks brilliant. I am taking an 8-point hit. And the question is it worth it? And how does it affect game week 27? So game week 27, as we see on the screen, we have a number of teams missing. So the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, all blanking in that week. And this is how my side would end up shaping up. If I did no more, I would have a transfer to make, so I could move someone out. But do I really want to move Trent, Salah, Saka or Tierney out? I don't really. But then do I just accept 10 players? Problem is I've got Gray, who's a doubt to come back at the moment for that game week. Dennis with a difficult fixture as well. Watkins away at Brighton, that just doesn't look like a nice game week. I think I could just accept it. Maybe hope for a low scoring week. I don't feel there's enough value to actually make a free hit during that week. So it leaves me with a few problems. I'm not sure, therefore, is it worth bringing Saka and Tierney in? So I went on to site FPL Form, have a look at it. What it does is predict points for the players over the next few game weeks. And I was just started comparing to see, which way my decision should go. If I bring in Tierney for Kufau, Tierney, yes, is expected to get 10.7 points over the next 3 games, only compared to Kufau's 7.2. Over the longer term, Tierney looks a much better prospect at 20 points. So that looks quite nice. And it also does not include the Chelsea game. So that's only going to increase his potential points. So he could definitely be worth it. But at the moment, can't afford that. I'd have to use that transfer somewhere else. I could do that. And then it's also a case of, right, Saka Fernandez. Obviously, you're paying almost half the price for Saka. He's got double game week this week, but he blanks in 27. Fernandez has really nice fixtures next 2 game weeks, not in 28, 29 and 30. But over the short term, he again looks like he's going to outscore Saka. Plus, he in the longer term, even bigger points outscoring him, even though he's got those tougher fixtures. So it doesn't appear to make a lot of sense to take an 8-point hit when actually the points predicted for those 2 players of Saka and Tierney aren't that much better than Kufau. And Fernandez, I'm taking out a player and a hit for a player who could still do well against Leeds and he could do well against Watford, and he's playing Watford. So to take a player out and take a hit just feels like it's a big risk. I don't think it's worth doing it. If you told me is Fernandez going to score 4 more points in those 2 home games than Saka is in this double game week, I don't think I would take that bet. I think I'll bet against it. So the other option I do have is just taking 1 hit. It's possibly going for someone just bringing in Tierney for that double game week and then taking out Maguire. That still gives me collateral money in the bank. It gives me a player that's got a decent fixture in 27. Yes, the longer term doesn't look good, but in a short term, Tierney could come in and just do me well. And what that would leave me with is a playing side potentially for 27. Remember, I still can wait on the news from Gray. I've got 1 transfer to play with, so I could bring in someone else. Keep Fernandez for that fixture. That's a possibility. Weghorst at the moment, I think, would probably get captaincy just because he's got that double game week. But that's how I'd line up with 27 with just a 1 fixture. I could just leave it as it is. I've done the fixture already. We'll have to wait and see. I am tempted with the Arsenal team to do the double, but I'm not sure taking out Maguire and Fernandez when they've got a good fixture in 27, it's worth taking an 8-point hit for. So that's the dilemma I'm in at the moment. That's it for this one then. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments below, what are your plans? Are you prepared to take a hit? Who are you looking to bring in? Love to hear what your thoughts are. I haven't decided yet. I've got a few big decisions to make. Don't forget, hit subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.